What's up, everybody? This is Charlie from Charisma on Command, and welcome to the video on inner game and confidence. This is incredibly apt that I'm talking about this today because I actually just got off of a client call a couple hours ago. Just is a bit of an exaggeration, but I was talking to him, and this is someone who is incredibly successful. This is a guy in his mid-20s. He just sold his second company to a big company for a large sum of money, so he's very, very financially successful. Has a girlfriend, has a very close group of friends. His life just seems to be going fantastic. And it is in almost every single way. But he identifies a couple of areas where, despite everything that is occurring externally, he just doesn't feel like his most confident, charismatic self. And the times that he pointed out were, they're pretty extreme. Interacting with C-level executives at the new company. He's only in his mid-20s, right? Being thrust onto a panel to speak in front of a bunch of people that he doesn't know about something that he's familiar with, but just with a group of people that he is not familiar with, right? And he wanted to know, how can I take the confidence that I felt building my company, right? The charisma that I tend to have with my team, where does that go when I'm in these situations where I'm less comfortable, and how can I get it back? That is how we got our name, right? We are Charisma on Command, not just because we teach charisma, but because you want to have it in those moments where it most counts, and those are the moments when it tends to run away from most people. So today, things that we're going to cover in this inner game portion. First off, hopefully some paradigm shifting mentalities. Now, I know what happens with a lot of people is maybe they've had the same experience that I did. And I think back to when I was taking my first philosophy class. This is when I was a freshman, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And up until that point, I thought the point of every single debate and argument I got into was to win, was to convince the other person that I was right. And I'll never forget that my professor, freshman year, people were arguing in class, and she said, hold on, remember, the goal is not to be right, the goal is to get it right. And I remember just being blown away by this, because my entire life it was about convincing other people. And the thought that the point of an argument was not to maintain my opinion, but to come out of it with the right opinion, whether it was mine or it was the other person's or some, amalgamation of the two, that was incredible, and that dictated how I've acted since then. So hopefully there's going to be a couple of those moments where you just go, holy cow, I didn't think of it that way. That's one goal. Second goal of this is to teach you how to use your body to get your feelings in the right place, right? The guy that I talked to today, he said, I have these situations where I know I'm making excuses. I'm sitting in front of these people and I'm biting my tongue, and I know I should speak up, but I continue to make excuses because that's what I'm compelled to do. That's where my feelings are at. We want to talk about how to use your body to break that pattern of crappy feeling so that your rational brain and what you want to do are way more in line with the way that is going to be most beneficial to you. Third off, I want to talk about how to get on a roll, right? Most people go out and they have an experience where at the end of their evening or the end of a networking event, the last 10%, they're just feeling it, right? They're comfortable. We want to learn how to speed that process up so that it's the first 10% where people are actually feeling good, gregarious, outgoing, and so that can last for the duration. And then what we want to do is talk, this is a big one. Again, the guy that I spoke to today echoed this, which is a very common question I get. When I'm around superiors, people that I perceive as better than me, I just completely lose it, right? Everything that I have goes out the window. I'm like a puppy. I roll over, stick my belly up for the alpha dog to come in. We want to talk about how not to do that, because those moments with superiors really can shape your life. And then at the end, we're going to go to the level that is the most wide spanning, right? This is not just confidence in a moment. This is confidence about yourself. It's the type of feeling that you have about yourself. And I have experiences where doctors will contact me. And they'll say, I've got 8 years medical school, 10 years, I've never made a mistake, I'm a fantastic doctor, but I still have this nagging self-doubt. This is what we want to crush at the end. This is not related to any specific instance. This is just a feeling about oneself. And when you can get those problems ironed out, deleted, completely gone, then everything else falls into place. So, don't want to waste too much time on preambles or introductions. Let's go right to it. This is the first thing we're going to touch on. It's tactics, and we'll get into the deeper stuff towards the end. But for tactics, here we go.